All right, my watch list for Wednesday. MO, I'm starting with here, had a pretty big candle down. I drew a line here. It has pretty decent support. I switched to 60s, you able to see it better. So pretty nice support off pretty much where this line is. It's right around $41.15. So if this were to gap down or get down to that area tomorrow, I'll be looking for a bounce. If you remember in last night's video, I had Dick's Sporting Goods with support at 44. I pointed out the great support there. I actually was not able to be in the office today, so last night I put in a bid at 44 even, and it was kind of cool. I came home in the... If you've seen any of my other videos, you know my house got hit by lightning the other day. Well, we got another storm going on. Love Central Florida in the summer. Anyway, so I put in a bid last night for DKS at 44, and it's pretty cool. When I got back to the office, it was over 44.50. So I had gotten filled at 44, which was 3 pennies from the low of the day, and I sold it at 44.52, which was like 4, 5, 6 cents from the high of the day. So that was actually kind of a nice little trade, especially since the first half of it occurred when I wasn't even around. And anyone in the chat room that knows me knows I do not like to be filled on positions when I'm not there in front of the screen. I don't like, excuse me, I don't like having orders filled like that. I guess I'm a control freak, and I like to be there and place the trades manually. But I thought, hey, for just a few hundred shares, it'd be fun. So I had the order in, and it turned out to be I didn't make a killing or anything, but it was a nice little trade, DKS. So that was a good support play. The rest of the list, real quick here. Let's see, AMX, possible short. I've got some lines drawn at recent highs on AMX, and it's come a long way to get there in a hurry. And if you switch to the weekly chart, it's actually at the weekly 200 also. So anytime you make a big move into recent highs without much of a pullback, this could be a good short opportunity. It's really going to depend on the overall market too, but that one's interesting just because it's gotten up there so quickly. And I will only take that with a clean intraday short setup. NRG, I believe, was on the list last night, didn't trigger, but it's down sitting at that support line. And if I bring over my smaller version of the daily from one of my monitors, that turquoise colored line is the 100-day as well. So you're at price support that you can see on this chart and the 100-day, and a clean 3-day stair step down. So this one I'm looking for a potential long in for a bounce tomorrow. That's NRG. DGLY. Man, I wasn't around this morning again, like I said, but this one goes back on Bounce Watch. If you look at it, and I don't know if anyone in the chat room did this again because I wasn't there this morning, but anyone that took a break of the 5-minute high on this, it had a pretty narrow 10-minute range, 10-minute opening range. If you took a break of the 5-minute high on this, because we had it on Bounce Watch, man, you got a quick $1+ move, probably in about 3 minutes, but it ended up coming back down and closing near the lows of the day. So if you remember in the video from last night, I said what I'm looking for is a narrow range and then an afternoon break. So you didn't have that again. These are 15-minute candles, and you just had another day that it took off early, but there's the 15-minute high, and then the previous day's 15-minute high, and so on. So this one is still on Bounce Watch. And again, I'd like to see an afternoon break in that one. So whoops, I already did that one. TXMD, another cheapie. Man, this thing's almost round tripped from where it started. But it's a good candidate for a Bounce Watch. I find it hard to believe that it's worth less than the news from when it, the news that came out that caused the 20 million share plus gap up. So this one just goes back on Bounce Watch. Again, switching to 15s, you'll notice the same thing that I showed you on the other one. There's the high, the most recent high, the opening 15-minute high. And then the next day, it gapped down and ran. Okay, but since then, and you notice the high that day was still in the first couple hours. Okay, then the next day, about 30 minutes in, it put in its high. The next day, it put in its high at the open. Today, it put in its high probably 5, 10, 15 minutes into the day. So we still haven't had that afternoon high of day break. I always say this, doesn't cost you anything to have it on a chart. So TXMD just goes back on a chart looking for that. KNDI closed at its lows today after gapping up. I don't know what that line's doing there. But anyway, this one is worth watching. I'd like to see a gap down, narrow range, and a break of its high. But anyway you slice it, KNDI deserves to be on watch. I don't have any kind of like, hey, here's a great entry. I mean, 18's kind of interesting, but because of the whole number psychology. But anyway, that one needs to come in. So that one goes on a chart, but I doubt I'll do anything with it tomorrow. MVIS, I talk about this one a lot. I still think this one's poised, to have a big rip one of these days. 4 million shares today. It ended up pulling back near the close, but this one, there's 60-minute candles. I mean, it's got room to run. The new trigger price would be 244, but that doesn't mean that's the only trigger price. It depends how it trades tomorrow. It might open at 227 and trade in a nickel range for 2 hours. And if it does that, and then it breaks its high at 233 or whatever it would be, you've got another catalyst just above of 244, which would be a break of today's high. So we don't know how it's going to trade at the open, but this one, is very close to what I think is a measured move higher. You had this crazy move back here, lower high, and then nice base here, and now it's really starting to work its way higher. So, and you're seeing volume coming in. So keep MVIS on your radar. XGTI. Still interesting to me. Just a quiet day today. I talked about it in the video last night that I liked it at 224 over these recent highs. I've got a new trigger price now. I've got a break of today's high, which would be 216. Could easily be enough momentum to push it through 224 and start knocking down these other catalysts. And there it is on 60. So this one certainly has room to run too. It's a lower price, lower float stock, but my entry on this one tomorrow, if it gets to 216, I'll take it. And there's always caveats to that comment. If the market's tanking at the time, I won't take it. What else can I say? If this were to gap down to $1.90 and open, okay, and then run straight up, then I wouldn't take it at 216. If it, $1.90 to 216 in the first hour, 216 doesn't mean that much at that point because it'll be short-term overbought. So there's always caveats, but assuming a fairly flat open and then the market's not tanking, I like this one as a long XGTI at 216. We'll find other stuff as the market unfolds in the morning as well. This is a very short list I put together tonight. I've had kind of a rough week as far as sleep goes and other things going on. And there's even a chance I won't be trading tomorrow as well. There's a strong chance that I'm going to become a grandpa tomorrow. So I may not be trading at all. I'll follow up and let you know if anyone cares. But anyway, but this is a list I've come up with. And even if I'm not there, the guys in chat will find more stuff to trade as the morning unfolds. So I'll quit babbling and we'll talk to you soon.